This is a Heart and Hand production.
Hello everyone, it's David here live at Ibrox Stadium as we get ready to watch Rangers versus Aberdeen a little bit later than usual. Joining me today is Adam and we have the team news for you. In goals for Rangers, Jack Butland, back four, James Tavernier, Nasser Giga, Manny Fernandez and Tour Romans. Then an interesting looking front line, if you like. Raskin and Chukwueze remain in the middle of the park, and then it's Mikey Moore, Tello Asgard, Ryan Nadiri and Yusuf Chermiti. So one change from the side that beat St Mirren, and that is Tello Asgard returning to the side ahead of Jaidi Gassama on the bench for Rangers. Kelly, Magoma, Suter, Sterling, Barron, Antman, Diamandi, who I wasn't sure if he was going to feature, Gassama and Miovski. Adam, one change, and it doesn't seem a like-for-like one to me. I'm not quite sure how that works out and where Asgard is going to play.
No, it doesn't. Certainly not in terms of how they play. I assume it will be that wide right position, which is a bit strange. I don't know if he's played there, but I guess it does have that licence to come in a little bit.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is this more of a kind of 4-2-2-2-2? Because there's nobody there that is Mikey Moore has been playing well, but he likes to come inside. So I was wondering if it's maybe two number 10s, almost a box of a midfield. Yeah,
I think so, and I think it's not what I would have done. I was having a chat with a couple of people in the press room there, and he didn't even enter my thoughts. I was as far down as Bayrami's and maybe going to back threes and maybe midfield threes, just because that is the one area I think so far that has been inconsistent in the last month or so over in the attack is that position. Scott Olsen's played there, Gassama's played there, Finlay Curtis was there for before he went away on loan. Bayrami's sort of filled in a little bit. It's not really fit, and I think it was obviously supposed to be Scott Olsen's position. He's not nailed it down. He's been sick all week. He's not on the bench.
No, he's not.
So yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to go with that, to be honest. Personally, I think we need a lot more creativity in there. Asgard, I thought, looked okay when he came on at the weekend. But it's a kind of low bar with Asgard that sometimes it just doesn't really give you what you're looking for. He's very jarring, I think, on the eye, because you look at him and you think you should be X.
Absolutely.
And
mentioned that before, he frustrates the life out of me because
it's just tricky to get a hold on him at all.
There's stuff there. We don't see enough of it.
The manager spoke about his mentality and his personality and all that sort of stuff. I'd like to see a little bit more of it on the pitch. If there's loads of it off the pitch, that's fine, but I don't see somebody who wants to come and grab games by the scruff of the neck. I don't see the player that played last season marauding through defences and shooting from everywhere. I don't see the player that played for Norway even six months ago and scored all those goals. So it's an opportunity for him, personally.
Well, if he's wanting to go to the World Cup, he needs to start playing.
Because he's not in. I don't think he's in the squad.
He's not in the squad
for
no.
now. So, yeah, personally, even though it's coming out of the cold, I'm a big believer in starting aggressively. I'd have probably went for Ant-Man, just to give us some kind of pace up there. Albeit we know Aberdeen are going to sit in, but he's quite tricky. He can whip a good ball in. We need that for those two strikers, for sure. I would have probably done that. Again, I take the point that it might happen later on in the game, but I don't know. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Everything else I think is fine. We'll see what version of Nico Raskin we get today. For me, I think Connor Barron did quite well when he came on. Maybe underrated in the sense of we've struggled to control the middle of the pitch at times late on in games. I thought he just came on and didn't really do very much, but just come on, picked the passes, won the tackles, and it sort of set us on a good way. So he'll probably be disappointed that he's not getting more minutes just now, but overall I think it's pretty much as expected outside of Asgard.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, the rest of the lineup doesn't surprise me, especially given, as you mentioned, the injuries that Rangers have. But I am, as I say, slightly surprised by Asgard, because it does, unless it's just a case of, look, there's nobody else you need to go and play there, Gassama's so out of form, and we stick to what we've been doing. But it does look as though it narrows the side a little bit for me. Yeah. Romans, obviously no problem getting up and down the flank. A lot will be asked of Tav.
It will be. And again, it's a partnership on that right hand side that doesn't quite work at the minute. Romans and Moore, you can understand it because Romans can go in the overlap and Moore will cut inside. The best partnership in terms of styles, I think, is Tavernier and Skov Olsen, but obviously both are struggling, shall we say, for various reasons. Tavernier, isn't necessarily struggling right now, but obviously is on a decline as we know, and needs to be managed. So Tavernier and Asgard seems a bit of an interesting one. Tavernier's crosses, I think, will be huge. We need to get the ball into the box. If we're not going to create through the middle, we need to try and get the ball into the box as best we can for those strikers. And much maligned from set pieces for sure, but we need to get the better of them as well for me, because we've not scored one in 2 and a bit months now, after an absolute influx of them. So Tavernier could hopefully be crucial there.
Hasn't been an area Aberdeen have been strong in this season either, defending set pieces, so it's something we need to look to take advantage of. Obviously Aberdeen, slightly different prospect now. Stephen Robinson has come in. I don't know, a long time to work with him, but enough to get some ideas across, you'd imagine. I don't think what they do today will be any great shock. They're going to be tight, they're going to be compact, they're going to look to be organised, try and break, try and get set pieces of their own. Difficult to break down. I think it's important, therefore, that Rangers don't allow the first half to drift, which is something that we've been very guilty of over the last few seasons. We've been very guilty of allowing matches to drift and basically giving up half a game before responding.
Yeah, and I think we know what's going to happen. We need that fast start here, because they will just sit in, like you said. They will be delighted to get away with a point today, even with both the teams underneath them, as currently recording, are winning. I think I don't think that'll really change their game plan. It's not as if they're going to come and be expansive and try and dominate the game. So it's up to us to get that fast start and try and get a good footing on the game and see where it takes us.
Right, folks, we'll be back after the match. Until then, on the Gers. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
That was a Heart and Hand production.